YouTube, welcome to the top 16 of the Meta Weekly every single week. Cool Tune is here, and I believe it is hands down the best deck. Stand aside Maliss, which used to be the ex-best deck, which will now be facing off against the new best deck. Now, even though we have a deck that I believe to be the best deck, it does not mean they are going to definitively win every duel, because inherently going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a massive advantage. But if the best deck is going first, and the opposing player doesn't have some card like Maxi that will go through without being negated, then I guess Cool Tune wins this match, right? Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to be that linear? Well, let's find out.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Cool Tune at the top, Mouse at the bottom, Hajime, but watch as long as you can. It greatly supports these videos, even if you have us on in the background. We're going to Fool Loss on our own turn. Maxi in response. Ash negate the negate. Is a rotary with no other Cool Tune to play? Well, a level 3 tuner plus rotary is in fact a play. Let's reveal the bell, normal the rotary, and then we're going to synchro with the hand. Now, you could be thinking, oh, you would imperm this possibly, even though obviously they could just normal summon the bell alongside it. If you imperm any of the Cool Tunes, the first part of the card that allows them to synchro with the hand cannot be negated. It's a condition. Now, we have the rotary and the track maker. We're going to be looking at their hand and then searching our deck for a spell. Imperm negating the maker, which could search for a spell or a Cool Tune monster. Thus, we are only going to grab a spell. Summon the March Hare by banishing the Chessy Cat here. This is not going to be a form of disruption. We're going to grab the field spell. Now, the field spell is very likely going to be setting up a Kewl. By tributing off our monster, we could add to our hand or special summon from the deck. We're going to summon the Mix. Mix could then add the Q. Q will normal summon and then special summon a Rico. Rico from the deck. All of this through a rotary and a bell against an impermanence. Pretty freaking good, huh? Now, because you wanted to summon preemptively, we're just going to destroy your Chessy Cat through our normal play we were already going to do. And we kept Mystical Space Typhoon on the top of your deck. We know you are going to be drawing that, definitively. Come to me. Now, MST right away onto the impermanence. Beyond that, what are the plays we have here? The Clip could special summon to synchro into a disruption. We could pop with Mix. We could non-target bounce a card with the Maker if we're able to reborn that or synchro into that. We're going to be able to also negate a card in the field, negate again with the Zalin. We could even pop or bounce again with the Loudness War. Potentially 5 disruptions on top of the impermanence. And now we're going to Cool Tune remix it up. With the remix, recycle back the bell. Don't mind if I do. And guess what? Bell negates Mouse and Underground. Oh, he's randomly countering the Underground. How lucky. He saw the hand. He knew what he was going to draw into. He knows it's in his hand. There's no surprises. Is that toxic? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, wow. The card I saw. Thus, I added a card that counters the card I saw. Nice. And let's even do more, even though there's nothing else you could do. Let's make the Maker, as I said. When this is used for synchro, it's going to be able to bounce a card in the field back. Mix will destroy. Kind of nutty. And honestly, is an opening hand of a single Cool Tune and a bell, do you think of that as a really good opening hand? And you also have an impermanence? Imperm versus rotary and bell. And we got absolutely decimated. Insane. Okay, we could still use Shifter if we banish the March Hare. Now that March Hare's not in the graveyard, Shifter will be activatable. March Hare is going to add herself back to the hand here. And now we're going to shift it up. Set Little Knight pass. Under Shifter, we also have Ash. Is Durastorm going to be good here? No, it's not, but we do have the Little Knight banish. MST on Field Spell, I guess, could randomly be pretty good. Let's see what we're willing to do. Q on Summon Some for the deck. Nothing as the Ash negates. All right. Now, With this, we're going to Pot of Desires, banish 10 off the top of our deck, chain Little Knight to banish away on field the Kewl. Did we permanently lose anything from the duel here? Our one of Maxi is gone. Beyond that, the effect of the Pot of D, we did lose 2 of our quick plays, which is in a way quite disruptive for us. To battle we go. Jerusalem is simply just going to block an attack and then end our turn. Now, because we shifted on our own turn, we played around Called By. We don't get to see it their hand. We don't have that luxury. We also, so Called By is going to be the main card we play around. Now, because of that, their cards now get sent to the grave on our own turn. So they could use Q, not Q, but Clip. They could special summon Clip. They could Synchro into multiple disruption. They have the Veiler. They have Ash. Oh boy. Let's see what they do. Now, the Clip is only within the main phase. So you do want to take into account that if they have a set quick play, it's not only within the main phase. The effects that are main phase only are going to be the Clip special summon and the RS Synchro negate a card on the field. So if you can, try to take them to the battle phase. Even if you don't want to go to the battle phase, you could just bait out a Clip and then make further plays from there. Now the Clip is clipping as we go into the RS. This negate will only be within the main phase. We have Rico destroying the Mystical Space Typhoon. Some of the chat's already saying GG. Is it GG? As we get our Link Decoder randomly banished away. Further going into the Access Code Talker. Druiswarm's going to send the RS. We cannot respond to the Access Code Talker. Thus, the RS goes to the grave. Be gone. Now, what else do we have? We have Ash. We just have Ash? Okay. Ash negate the white behind. That's all I need. Ash negate. And now Doctor can't end the duel. Oh my Jesus. We're going to full loss on the resolution. No way. No way. No way we're passing on nothing. Oh my gosh, the Ash on Binder won the whole duel. That is insane. You were supposed to take game 2. No. Grab a Rotary. Let's reveal. Come forth. Grab a Clipped, which is only special summonable on the opponent's turn, not your own. We have the Rotary. Look at the hand. You could chain March Hare. If you have something to banish, then they don't get to add the field spell. Or I should say they wouldn't be able to add the quick play here. The Rotary needs something to look at in order to be able to add. RS, Baboost, 44. Goodbye to Access Code Talker, not made with a Masquerena. You don't have a tuner in the graveyard, thus the Loudness War does not get boosted up by the field spell. Maker, non-target, bounce the Eldem back to the hand. Randomly banish your Typhon. Quick play, add the Mix. Additional summon Mix. 5,100 damage. Not enough to end it. Now, what does this field entail? Dimensional Fissure. Wow. We are really... Is this going to be the card of the day to counter Cool Tune or what? Quite interesting. So what we have is the ability with the Loudness War. In response to any activation of anything, we could non-target bounce any card. We could destroy a monster, destroy a backer. So they activate Fissure. We could just destroy it right away. We also have Imperm. We could also negate with the RS. Let's see. Fissure. Don't care. Eldem. In response, we're going to use Mix to destroy. And RS to negate. Got you, mate. You're destroyed. You can't add. And we also have Impermanence. Imperm for the follow-up. March Hare still has nothing to banish in the graveyard. Let's make an Almirage. Trigger back the March Hare. Add back, but nothing to banish. Thus, it's just Almirage. Okay. The Ash on Binder. Yep, it all came down to that. Well done. 2-0. Out with the old top tier, in with the new. And Cool Tune received a total of 0 pre-hits. Yummy got pre-hit. Ryzeal got pre-hit. Vanquish Soul Canine got pre-hit. Damn. Rico on Summon. We're going to be grabbing our Rotary. I believe that if your opponent has no response before they make a Maker with the Rotary, the duel's over. You should probably just surrender. It's done. They get to see the whole hand and get to search for 2 cards. They now get to fully and skillfully play around your hand. And I'm not joking. I think Cool Tune is a high skill ceiling deck, even higher skill ceiling by seeing the hand. How could that be the case? Seeing the hand does increase your win rate, but also makes the deck more skillful to play because now you have to properly think and play differently based off of what you saw in the hand and what you saw on the top of the deck. So now we know they're going to draw into a Droll. It's going to be nothing. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Great. Now, while Cool Tune is a very cool and powerful deck, I think one of the things you want to be mindful of when you are the player yourself or the player is the opposing player is you want to have in mind how many ways can they plus a monster on the field. Every deck can normal summon. Now, they just received Rotary. Rotary is an additional normal summon. They have the field spell, but you know the field spell is played at 1, not at 3. They're not going to hard draw into it, so they need an effect to search the field spell. The field spell then allows an additional normal summon. You then know that they play Overtake. Overtake can summon from the deck, but summoning from the deck is going to be with a card that can't be searched for. They do play 3 of it. They have to hard draw it. So it's about 4 ways they could summon a body on the field, just a straight up +1. Now, a Resolved Q is an additional body onto the field from the deck. Now, the quick play does not plus a body from the hand or deck onto the field. It could only interact with what we already have on the field. So if you just focus on having to play around that and dealing with their multiple other ways to plus a body, then that's how you want to be accounting for everything that they could do. The clip, thankfully, they accounted for some sort of balance of the deck where the clip doesn't work like Femina where you can activate it on your own turn. The clip is only on the opponent's turn. Also, it is even beneficial for the opposing player, the non-Cool Tune player, that remixes only the opponent's turn. So opponent's turn only, clips opponent's turn only. So with all that accounted for, let's see. Normal summon's been used up. Let's Ash Negate, but we do have pressure. We need to get rid of this body. You don't want them to synchro for free with the unknown, which could trigger pop a monster and then set up a negate. Let's see. They could even make a maker. So we're going to bounce 1, at least attempt to do so. Horn is going to negate. We still have to figure something out. Can't let them make a maker or an RS. So we're going to Sting, Chain Ghoul, pop the Rico. Oh, wow. They don't have an Overtake. They don't have a Rotary because I negated their search for Rotary. There you go. That's it. Let's go. Rico on summon is going to get... We're going to activate Full Loss in the Droll window. Ash Negate. We're still within the window of Droll. And now we get Drolled. Hit him with the Droll. Boom. If what you owe, the main priority as a Cool Tune player is you have to think, how can I make Maker with Rotary before getting Drolled? While also taking into consideration cards like Full Loss, Maxi, Ash Blossom Bell, Impermanence, Veiler. But the main thing I think you really need to be thinking about is Droll. You want to double search before getting Drolled. RS, ready with the negate within the main phase only mate. Ash Negate the Synchro Overtake. Many of the monsters, the Rico in the mix, they could add from the graveyard if we have something in the grave to add to our hand. Now, our disrupts here, the level modulate effect is not going to be effective against Dracotail, but the main phase only negates plus the Bell disruption, that's what we have. Well, I mean, I summon Cartesia, I activate your negates, and Cartesia is also main phase only. Main phase versus main phase. So we have Ash. Okay. All right. Well, Rotary, reveal the Bell, additional summon, synchro with the Bell. You could use Remix to add the Bell back during the opponent's turn if you need to. And now we're going to look at your hand again and go, oh, you have Ash. Didn't even bother using the Ash on one of these searches. Now, you have to know that tributing off your monster to then get ashed, that's going to be quite detrimental to you if we don't have any other follow-up plays. We're still doing it. So this is what you would want to Bell or Ash. But, I mean, they saw the Ash and just didn't care to play into it anyway. Grab the Q. So there's no surprises against Kewl Toon. No surprise. We see exactly what you have. We knew you would Ash. We were perfectly fine with that. And it would, what? There'd be double 5,000, 10,000 plus damage on the field. Let's hop into game number, wait, that's it. Game number 3 is done. Kewl Toon has defeated Maliss. Kewl Toon has now defeated Dracotail. What else will Kewl Toon dominate? Rico on summon, Bell, negate, gotcha mate. I already have Rotary in hand. So, this I would refer to it as high rolling your disruption. You're trying to get a high roll. You're just rolling the die and you rolled a 1. Oh well, I guess I lose. You do. I would like for anyone to keep track of this. 2 things. If a Kewl Toon player ever normal summons Q and the opposing player does not respond to that Q, that they have a 100% win rate. They should. They should not lose. That's one thing. Another thing is, if the opponent activates nothing and the Kewl Toon player is able to make a Maker with a Rotary, they also have a 100% win rate. I cannot fathom them losing in any way. Oh, what if they have Draw? What if they Ash? I don't care. They could have anything. If they make a Maker with Rotary, or they normal summon a Q and the opponent doesn't respond directly to the Q, nothing else matters afterward. What the heck happened here? We banished RS from the extra deck, now returning back the B2B. Let's go. Kewl Toon Q. The field spell is going to allow us to tribute a monster to summon for the deck or add to the hand. Also, additional normal summon. So what we're going to do here is synchro with the Rico. Rico is immediately going to pop the field spell before they gain that additional benefit of normal summoning from the hand. Additionally, that is, the Clip's going to randomly banish from the extra deck. Our B2B is now gone. Q comes... Now, this is crazy. We should be able to make a back-to-back with this, and back-to-back is a really high priority. It's thanks to you boosting up the levels of my monsters. But you banished my back-to-back. If we accounted for that, we'd play a second one. Do we? We do! Oh my Jesus. Negate the Q. But then knowing that he could synchro into a back-to-back, he's going to stop him before he could do so. Add the Q, summon the Mix, synchro with the Mix, Mix into Maker. Mix is now going to trigger to pop a card in the field. Now, popping Crackle, not a problem. Crackle does not have to be sent for Synchro Summon, just if sent to the grave in any way whatsoever. Thus, we're forced to pop the Q instead. Now, we can't Synchro with the hand, and we lost the field spell, so we can't additional summon. Unfortunately. And we didn't have Rotary for the additional summon. Okay. Overtake into a Mix Mate. Ghost Mourner. Negate. Now, if he had a Full Loss or Maxi, he would have been blown out by the Gamma. Rotary, reveal the Gamma. Summon, as we're going to link this up into a Maker. Maker is going to search our deck for the Quick Play. Quick Play is going to be adding the Q. Further Synchro and Resolution into the Vsauce Amatera. This will trigger the Rotary to now see, oh my Jesus, you have a Bell. So I now know to not use the Field Spell. Didn't even search it. Field Spell, we would have tribute off our monster and then would have been popped. Now the Amatera now has the Vanadium reframing. Omni negate, ain't no way, mate. Let's further make a Kewl Toon RS. Clip's gonna randomly banish a Loudness War. I think most people are on 1 Loudness War. So that loud, nope, we're on 2. Very good, happy to see that. So we have the reframing, negate anything, negate with the RS, we could pop with the mix, bounce with the maker, and we now have Typhon. Well, the reframing, I guess, could negate. The reframing could still negate. While you control a synchro monster, you can negate. So while RS cannot be activated, reframing, negate. Now, synchro overtake does not have to summon. It could add to the hand. But we're ending our turn? Why? I guess we don't want the RS to negate for free, right? And wait, the reframing does not negate and destroy? It's, you have to have a Vsauce on your field or in the graveyard to then destroy the negated card. What happened to the Vsauce? It's in the graveyard, but it's not a Vsauce while in the grave. It's only Vsauce on the field. Oh my Jesus. Come forth, loudness, war. Rico pop a back row, popping the bluff. Back in my day, bluffing was a big part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Get rid of the bluffed card as we now have the Cool Tune Synchro instead. Now, what could the Cool Tune Synchro do? Nothing. It can, I mean, it could grab Clip and then Clip could special and synchro with the Ogre. Crackle. Banish something from the extra deck, I guess. Yeah. Still on Red Nova, which is quite interesting. Most people have dropped Red Nova. Q's gonna chain link block the Nova, look at the top of the deck, summon from the deck, grab the Cool Tune Field Spell to boost up the Loudness War, 230, 300 attack, or we're just going to send it for our Cool Tune back to back. Maker's gonna non-target bounce the back row or monster. Ash is going to negate you from adding from the deck, not today. 6,500 and can double attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn. 1 and 1. All right. Normal summon Q. Now, I think there was some confusion with the Typhon and the Monadium Trap. I assume the Monadium Trap was just negating and destroying this. It obviously didn't. It just negated its effect, did not negate the card. Thus, the Typhon remained on the field, still continuously preventing the RS from being activatable. So maybe Moy was forgetting that the Typhon was not turning off the RS from negating and then didn't want to activate the overtake. Now, he could be thinking, the Typhon is preventing me from further summoning for the rest of the turn after I summon Typhon, but the overtake is glowing, like it's activatable. So you don't even have to think like the TCG. The game literally tells you could do something with this card. Thus, we should have activated it to add from the deck to our hand. We could have added a mix, we could have added a clip, or add a Rico. You don't have to summon from the deck. So that could be another thing to take note of when playing Cool Tune is if you have a Q and an overtake and you initiate with the Q first and they full loss you, you don't just stare at the overtake and go, oh, this card sucks now, I can't summon from the deck or I don't want to because of full loss. Just add from the deck to the hand instead to better play around the Fua. Summon the Rotary. Let's now synchro into the Maker. And this is what I've been saying. If you don't respond to a normal summon Q turn 1, it should be 100% over. I don't know what you could have in your hand because they will see your hand and have so many different options to meticulously play around exactly what you have in hand. It could even be the case of not even heavily disrupting you, just ensuring that they survive your turn, whatever it is, to then have a big follow-up play next on the turn 3 to then crush you. Oh boy, it's super over. Pop with Mix, bounce with Maker, negate with Zalin, negate with RS, pop or bounce with the Loudness War. Zalin is now negating, negate. We have the Cool Tune Synchro chaining we could synchro on the resolution of this as the clip is responding to come forth. Now we got back to back. Up to twice per turn in response to a monster effect only, do we have the ability to reborn a monster that's banished or engrave and then perform a synchro on resolution optionally. Now, this could grab back a tuner, could grab back an Ash and just not synchro with it and then use the Ash. We have the RS. So we still have a negate, pop or bounce, pop, and bounce. We pop it. Now, Loudness War prevents your other cards from getting destroyed or being targeted. Look at the top of the deck. Let's pop it. So we have 3 more disrupts. Can we play through 3 more? Rico on summon. We're going to target the maker. We could finger the maker, but then the RS will probably negate the finger. The maker is going to give us the ability to non-target bounce a card. And also a disruption I'm not accounting for, which this is going to be the bouncer pop, the negate, and the bounce is the level modulate. I'm not really counting that as a disruption. We're freaking level 6 when we should be 3, because the back-to-back, no matter what kind of monster you are, you're going to be +2. The RS, if you're 1700 or lower, you're going to be +1. We now negate the called by. And we're about to bounce. And then the Loudness War will bounce or pop. So we're going to non-target bounce. So what's crazy about the non-target bounce is, what if we have the quick play, right? You chain the quick play, you synchro, your synchro immediately gets bounced back. Now, you could trigger the cards engrave after that synchro, so it could still be beneficial. Now I have the Loudness War to non-target bounce or pop. We're going to non-target bounce. Congratulations. They're out of disruption. So now you have to do is make plays at... Oh, we're out of plays. Okay. Well, we exhausted all of their disruptions to then be out of plays. 2-1 victory, and then double attack of the back-to-back. Let's freaking go. All right. What are we? What the heck is this? 60 card fully royal deck. Let's go. It's about $3,000 on average to turn an ultra rare into a royal. You are continually spending money to recraft the card, decraft the extras until you get that royal rarity. In fact, if it's only $3,000, I believe that's considered lucky, because it could generally be up to $5,000. All right. And then times that by 60 cards in your deck, then, it has to actually be cards that are ultra rare. Not everything's going to be ultra rare. Our whole hand happens to be ultra rare, though. This is a very expensive hand, a more than $10,000 hand. What are our forms of disrupt here? In grave, we have nothing. In hand, we have nothing. In the back row, we could send a Diablo Star to negate any card on the field. We could then destroy a card with the Vengeance and then summon a Synchro that could go into another form of disruption by synchroing again. And then we have the Masquerena, which could double Little Knight Banish. It's about 5 disruptions. Now, the continuous effect here is Illusion and Spellcaster Synchros cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. You do want to account for that. Ua in the standby, since we know Vengeance and Masquerena are going to go into the extra deck, so we're possibly going to draw up to 2 cards off of that. Jokel and Jiao Long destroy the Jokel before it activates a search. And instead of going into the Synchro that synchros into another card, we're just going to Sylvia to flip the opposing field face down. We're going to Tribute Summon for Naroi. Naroi normal summons without tributing if they have 2 cards in hand, so accounting for not only Canine cards by having less than 2 cards in your hand, it could also be a good play against Cool Tune. The Rotary has to have something in the hand to look at, or it doesn't search for anything. So if the card in hand is chainable or you have no cards in hand, their power on turn 2 is going to be lessened. Little Knight, Banish on summon. We have drawn 2 cards so far off of that Fua loss. It has been putting in some great work. Diablo Star is going to reborn itself back onto the field, sending the Silvera to then set up a follow-up play. We still have the negate of Silvera. Whatever we want, just negate it. We also have the Banish of Little Knight, which is now gone. Lupus reborneth as we now go into the Rip. We didn't want the Little Knight to disrupt this, but now we're negating. Big negate, send to the grave. Can't be targeted. In TCG, they would call a judge if the opponent wouldn't let them take it back. They would argue that It was an illegal activation. You can't be targeted, so it has to go back down. But in Master Duel, you gotta commit to the bit. That's it. You cannot target me. You must target your own card. Whoops. Isn't that great? That feels great, right? Lantern search, grab the force release. And if we held on to Silvera, I think we'd still lose. I don't think we threw. I think hoping the game would be bugged to negate Ripper was probably our best chance to win this. Unfortunately, the negate did not go through. Little Knight, Banish Vengeance. Case for Canaan, grab it. All right, let's finish this duel, yes? We have Ash, we have Little Knights, we have Call by the Grave. Now, we maybe don't know if Hollow Nazamina would return back, right? There's many different ways it could be worded where if I finger the card you're targeting, the card would still go back. Let's read this. Target the Azamina, shuffle it into the deck. If you do, add this card. So it's very obvious if you fingered the Silvera, the Hollow Azamina would still be engraved. It does not mean that we wanted to finger it definitively. Maybe it could have been a bait, as we don't really have use for it right now. Ash negate the Sylvie. And now, from here, what do? We got Daruma Cannon. Change as many monsters on the field face down as possible, and then send the rest. So how do we ensure that we don't lose our Little Knight, right? Because what's going to happen is if the Little Knight cannot be flipped face down, they must send the Little Knight to the graveyard. We, in fact, can ensure that Little Knight will remain on the field. I'm not saying we should definitively do it, but it is an option. Now, if we read the Lupus, what does the Lupus say? Your opponent cannot target this card effect. So what you would do is you chain Little Knight to banish your own Ripper and banish the Sylvie. And by doing so, the Little Knight remains on the field because the first part of the effect has to go through. Flip monsters on the field face down, then you do the rest. If you don't perform before then, you never do after then. Let's see if we do it. Okay, we're not doing. We're just gonna flip down the Ripper. And the Ripper, since it did declare an attack, it's not gonna flip face up during main phase 2. Little Knight come back. All right. Ripper would have still lost its material. We would have had Lupus in graveyard though. So you could argue that us misplaying that does have an effect. Lupus is stuck. Help me, stepbrother. I'm under Ripper. I now can't be comboed up with the Zuna. Did we already activate something in the hand? If not, right now. This is where we'd be able to go into a... What do we even have? A rank 5 with the Lupus and Azuna? We don't have Valen. We already went through Nash Knight, right? Yeah, I guess we didn't really have a play anyway. The Jax has already been used up. Who likes rocks? Every time I try to play this, it just doesn't really come up. I don't know. I feel like Valen is just better, right? Azuna come forth. Does not have a Lupus, but now we do. In main phase 2. Solid go, add the Deception, Sinful Spoil. Why not tribute summon Holly and use field spell to grab Raisin is what we are saying. We have Deception, Sinful, Lupus. That is something we could have potentially done. We would, we have Lupus now going into a Typhon. Now the downside of Typhon is gone, right? The downside is, for the rest of the turn, as you could see in the dual log once it updates, well, it was there for a split second, you cannot summon for the rest of the turn, but that was on the opponent's turn. We now, with the power of Typhon doing pretty much nothing besides non-target bouncing a monster in the field, it's also untargetable. So a really good idea with your Typhon is go to battle, can't be targeted, and then turn Typhon into his arch nemesis, which is Zeus the fields, and then make other plays beyond that. It'd be the coolest thing to do. I'm not saying it's the correct thing to do. So we're not going to be cool, I guess. Summon Holly Sue, target the Holly, and that's enough. The attack just wins the game. I don't look at life points. Life points, no. I only look at the field. Did we have game if we just attacked? Maybe. What do we have here? Sylvia on summon, grabbing the Witch of the White Forest. This is a powerful field, yes? The Saint Azamina is going to ensure that a card like Caesar, it's going to be more difficult to summon. You cannot target your own Vanquished Soul to summon this due to the Saint Azamina saying you can't target your own cards nor target the Saint Azamina. So that's kind of like a pseudo floodgate. None of our cards can be destroyed by card effects. We can negate anything with the Sylvia. We could finger a card in grave. We could Ash negate an interaction with the deck. We could Diablo Star destroy anything, and then the Synchro we summon will be a disruption whether we flip face down or push a monster into the back row. We have the Masquerena, which could double Little Knight Banish. 8 disruptions and or floodgate. Good luck. You are going to need it. Holly Sue, reveal you. To trigger Jialong off of that, we're going to Vengeance, destroy the Holly Sue. To then summon for the extra deck into a Silvera to flip the Jialong face down. Flip it. Case for K9, Ash. Negate Azuna is now turned on. With Azuna turned on, Sylvia does not negate and destroy, just negate. We're going to chain Masquerena to Little Knight Banish the Azuna. And I'm out of here. Way too much disruption. 1-1. Just join where DK'd at. He's somewhere. Jokel and Azuna dump from the deck. Lupus. We do have Droll and Lockbird. A lot of people do not play into Droll. They make the Ripper first. They activate the Jokel later by reborning it back with the Lantern. It could be the safer play to not get Drolled. Otherwise, we make Ripper, no search. Summon Noroi. Noroi summon from the deck. Tribute off, look at your hand. Thank you very much. As we now Nash Knight. Nash it up into the Umbral Horror. Ready with a Monster Negate plus discard from the hand. Now the Monster Negate does not destroy the monster. What do we have here? Negate something activating in hand or in grave, which will be a monster effect. Negate a monster plus discard. Non-target pop a card in the field, which could pop again or banish in the hand. Quadra Disrupt. Maybe the Lupus if you want to activate something from the hand or in grave to then turn it on. We don't have another body for that. We're not going to have an Azuna play. So here is the Negate. Negate and discard Sylvie or Dragonmaid. Chamber Begone. So we should be at 3 disruption left. Non-target popping. Ooh. So the Hallowed Azamina has to send to the graveyard a Sinful Spoil. This is always treated as a Sinful Spoil. So we get rid of the Sinful Spoil. Sinful Spoil destroyed. Hallowed Azamina has now been whiffed. We're going to activate, but there's no hand to banish from. As we're going to grab LZ, activate LZ. Now we could just banish LZ. A good question I'd really want to know, and I don't know until I read the card, is do we stop the LZ from searching? Is it summon then search, or summon if you do search? That's a big deal. Special summon from your hand, then cry, then scoop, then surrender. Okay. Banish. No search. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Ostrachin, it is always a pleasure to have you in the tournament, my friend. Doing well. Happy to see it. 60 card, crazy deck. I love it. Thank you. Let's keep on going. Max C in response to the Ash Negate. Now, how good will Ghost Ogre be? I guess against the Link 3, it could be quite good, right? If you don't make the Link 3 with Masquerena, it does not negate unless the card is specifically summoned to where the Pendulum Scale is pointing to. Not Pendulum Scale, the Link arrow, that is. Oh my Jesus. So we have a normal summon. If they try to do something normal summon, we could chain the Synchro to Synchro with the normal summon and or dodge a targeting disruption. If it's a non-target negate, we'll still get negated, but we could at least, if we were going to get destroyed, stay on the field and to be synchroed with. Overtake could summon from the deck for a good play. And then we have Clip. We're going to initiate with the Overtake into the Rico. If Rico could be sent to the grave, we could destroy the Solfagia, which then stops the Coolio from being able to negate another play. We're going to have Herald of Arclight, negate, and destroy. We don't want Rico to be destroyed. So we're going to add a card and then Synchron Resolution. And thankfully, Konami did not make Clip activatable here. It's only the opponent's main phase, not either main phase, because we would then chain summon Synchro with Rico, then maybe win. Negate the Cool Tune Synchro. We still have our normal summon Q. We could still, we do get destroyed in the Rico, so we just have normal summon Q. Normal the Q. And we have so much disruption. We can destroy, flip down, bounce back, call by the Great Finger, banish a Little Knight. It's only about 6 disruption. Cupsy could draw into a 7th disruption. Mix on Summon's going to further search the deck. Snatchy is triggering to play the new field spell, which will pop a card in the field, which is part of the 6 disruption. What did I say? That Cupsy could draw into a hand trap, and it did. So now we, for no reason, now have a monster negate. Cookie, flip them face down. Rotary, additional summon Clip. Clip and Rotary can't make a synchro, so we lose. Okay. Damn. Got him. I would say Yummy going first is really good against Cool Tune. Being able to flip face down, destroy with Cookie, destroy with the field spell, that's insanely disruptive. Not even accounting for the surprise returning cards back. Negate the Clip, and Clip was going to do nothing. Clip was just chilling. Like if Clip could have done something, we would have done it last turn. Finish him. All right. Game number 2. Now, if we had the quick play synchro spell, we could potentially draw phase, add the Rotary, normal Rotary, not Rico, and then with Rico and Rotary, make the maker, trigger the Rotary, and then they draw afterward after we search for 2 cards, but then we could play through that very easily. Add the Rotary. We're setting up the instant I win combo. We win if they don't droll. They drolled. And we're adding. It does not mean we now lose. We just lose our instant win. We're going to have to work harder for our win now. Could summon from the deck. Could add from the grave. We can't add from the deck. Overtake. Can't add. We could summon. Into Clip. Let's sync with the hand. Into Remix. All right. So we still have pretty decent disruption here. We have the Veil or Negate. Remix will trigger the mix to pop a monster, and then we're going to be able to at least RS negate. RS also can level modulate, mess up their ability to even perform a synchro summon. They should not be able to make any of these yummy synchros. Grab a Cupsy. Marshmallow initiate. We're going to wipe it out, mate. Grab the mix, summon the Rico, Synchro Shokan on summon into RS. Now you're level 2, and you're destroyed. Yummy, Cupsy, Veiler, negate. Now, if we waited longer on the RS summon, we could have had Rico pop the field spell, but not needed. Well done, 1-in-1. The best use of Ogre is going to be against a Synchro trying to reborn 2 bodies from the graveyard. We're going to just Ogre pop the Cutia. Cutia is attempting to add from the deck. Still successfully does so, obviously. Come forth, Snatchy. Are we chilling this? Moonlit chill on summon? Yes, we are. We do not want him to grab the field spell. Do we finger the chill? Do we bell the finger? Oh boy. Yes, we do. Negate the called by fingering my chill. Chill out. Negate the negate. As we now negate the field spell, ending their turn. Now with their turn ended, we have Bell, we have Max C. Bell works on all of the cards. The Mix could add from the graveyard. The Q can summon from the graveyard. So you could just Bell the first play or hold the Bell for their remix, which is only usable on your own turn if you're the Bell player. Oh, my Q. Q is here. We're going to initiate with Rico. Bell negate. Mates. While we wanted to add from the deck, as I said, you could optionally add from the graveyard. Because we know it could very likely synchro as soon as he's in an open game state, we want to max C. But now we're going to chain Synchro Summon. Grab the Rotary, dodging the max C. Maker plus Rotary is now going to allow us to search for 2 cards. If the card in hand were activatable, you would activate it to dodge the Rotary from being able to add a card. In fact, we could argue... It's difficult to say. Should this Solfagia be on field? If we have no cards in hand, then Rotary can't add from the deck because there's nothing to look at. But then if it's on the field, it could get destroyed by Rico. So it's really this situation of what do? You commit to for the field, it gets destroyed. If it's in the hand, they now get to search their deck. You lose either way. Killer Tune, Cool Tune, sorry Konami, my bad. Take out the Snatchy, set the quick play, and let's go. We have the bounce we're going to add right now, right away. Mix, and the Q is going to go into a remix. And this is what you want to Bell. You Bell this, they're in big trouble. So if we top decked into a Bell, easy win. Maybe even a called by. Solfagia is here. We're going to destroy that Solfagia. Grab back the Moonlit Chill. What the hail? As the Rico adds the Clip, and the Rico can make an RS. Solfagia is going to special summon a Cutia, which the Moonlit Chill will negate. Just like that, mate. Q could summon an Ash Blossom from the deck, and then that Ash Blossom could be tributed by the field spell to then make your play of summoning another Cool Tune or adding it to the hand. And then on the opponent's turn, you make Remix to add that Ash that was summoned from the deck, and then you win the duel. Clip's going to randomly banish. We have the Loudness War in response to anything. We're non-target bouncing the Link Reba right now. If you activate, I will pop or bounce you, mates. Activate, bounce. Copy the Maker, you are gone. And if you're gone, how are you going to use a minion to reborn? Because you need a Link 1. Oh, the effect that triggers if you lose your card, but you lost your card before having the card that triggers when you lose the card. All right, damn. Cold Tune going second, winning the duel. Begin. Stand up, Centruion. Discard away that Nibiru. We have no hand traps whatsoever, thus we're going to ×2 in game. Cosmic Blazar before your opponent's main phase is crazy because just negating a normal summon is great. They normal summon Neroid to summon for the deck. Nope, just negate the summon altogether. If they normal summon a Q, right? So this is why I think Plu maybe is doing better than normal against Cool Tune. If I normal summon a Q, I can't chain the quick play synchro to synchro with the card on field that's being negated by the Cosmic Blazar. So we have the field spell synchro, Cosmic Blazar synchro, and what other forms of disruption? We have the Baldric Banish in the grave, I guess. We'll do. Holly Sue, chaining to the max C. Come to me, Jokel. Regained is going to reborn back the Magnum Hut to search in the end phase. Now, with the field spell synchro, what do we want to go into? It could be a Baron de Floor. It could be a Chaos Angel. Holly Sue, in response to the field spell synchroing into we don't know yet, we're trying to summon from the deck. But the Cosmic Blazar says, I don't think so. Negate and destroy the Holly Sue. Now, come forth into a Baron de Floor. Omni Negate is here, mates. Grab a stand-up. Jokel reveal and summon does not Baron de Floor that. But we do have the power of Maxi drawing per summon. Regain, draw a card, maybe draw into a hand trap here. Nope, not good enough. Not negating Jokel in hand, but negating Jokel on field. That is kind of interesting, yes? We did do that, right? We summoned Naroi with the Jokul. We now are going to Stake Your Soul, summon a Borger from the deck, all under max freaking C. How much is Kraken willing to commit to? Further grabbing a Jiao Long from the deck, reveal Jiao Long, summon Jiao Long, destroying the column. Jiao Long with the Naroi can make a rank 5. Now, if you really want to win going second under max C, the focus is going to be the Werewolf. Werewolf, per material it has under it, has that many attacks. The Ripper just got negated, as the Lantern's going to be the card that searches for the ability to rank up into that Werewolf. That's it. If I were Plu, I would be afraid, because the Werewolf is going to be able to double attack. And the Royce in the case for K9, look at the hand. Now it's going to triple attack. Now it's going to double attack. Maybe we don't do that. Don't detach with Jax. Just chill. Double attack and double damage. The double damage is from the Jax. Since the opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or grave, battle damage with this card specifically, 33 times 2 and then times 2. So over 12,000 damage, right? Oh my Jesus. What do we do about the Primus? How about we just banish it? If it's our own turn and they're activating, we get to banish a card from the field and graveyard. Now, the Primus says that cannot be destroyed by battle unless special summon for the extra deck. This would be the definitive way to protect us from this lethal play. But now it's gone. Begone, Primus. And now we have under the effect of Max C, he still has the ability to block an attack. Block the Auxilla at 3,000 defense. Attack 1, attack 2. Oh, we still got more. Serenir blocking the direct attack, ending the battle phase. Oh my Jesus. Plu was able to stave off lethal damage from the double damage. So it only had one material, so we didn't have double attack. I was incorrect in saying it could double attack. I guess I was thinking, why didn't it have so little materials? What the heck? Nibiru, as the Ripper's going to negate Nibiru. Because normally you put 2 cards together to make a Jax, and then Jax plus the 2 cards make the Werewolf. It's supposed to have 3 materials, thus 3 attacks. How did that get messed up? Oh, the Werewolf detached to banish, so we lost our it did have 2 attacks, it just lost the second attack. Oh my. Blazar's now back. Return back the Mad Love for the Borger. Burn or draw. We only have the ability to draw. You maxed me, I max you. And Ash will just negate, so no. You don't get to max me also. I don't think so. We also had the Blazar to further protect us from that happening. Chaos Angel. Unaffected from monster effects. The Blazar is also going to be unaffected from monster effects. The Blazar is also going to negate the Force Release. Negate. No non-target pop, which would be a really good way to deal with the Chaos Angel. Now, Zeus could wipe the field, but the Chaos Angel will be protected from that wipe. When are we wiping? When the back row activates? We're just holding for the last possible moment, yes? Zeus will not affect the monsters here. Oh, Zeus is just giving up. Okay, Zeus is gone. On the attack, we are going to protect from being destroyed by battle by revealing a Vanquished Soul instead. We do have the ability to make us indestructible by card effect and then also summon a Vanquished Soul, which we're deeming to not be worth doing. Goodbye to the Ripper. Take out our Link 1. Now, mind you, even though I've already said this, Zeus would not deal with the other cards here. See, Synchros are unaffected by Zeus. Raisins, normal summon. That can't chain, can't return back in response. Snow Devil, reveal 1, summon the Mad Love. Target the Mad Love, search our deck for Holly Sue. He does not know when to give up, and that's perfectly fine. Let's play it all the way through. Non-target, return back the Primera. Well, I don't want my Primera to be returned back. I'm trying to synchro with it. Imperm negate. And since you didn't have a Borger or Caesar to chain return back to dodge the negate, we now get to summon a Dissipator. Dissipator will be able to negate the Rock of the Vanquisher as we reborn back our Druid Swarm. Activate, negate. Now we are going to be returning back your card, thus it's a negate. If it was our own card, it would be a destroy, but not negate. Typhid, Plan L. Cannot do anything since it gets banished by the Ball Drake right away. Okay, and if we were even to activate the effects, our monsters would be unaffected. Doesn't matter. Oh, but they're 3,000 attack or more? No. Holy 17,000 damage. No baboosh, no double attack, just straight up giant meaty monsters. Wow. Well done. Begin. Raisin, come to me to get hit by not drolling. Okay, and also not fool-lossing. We really don't want to turn on their canines. Turning on canine is no bueno, right? Is turning on canine a big issue when we have imperm for the Ripper? Now, we are directly chaining the Fool Loss to the ability to summon for the deck. And what's really annoying is when you try to play around canine, if that's what we are even trying to do, your card then gets negated by Ash. You still activated a card and the activation didn't get negated. So all the additional canine effects, the Azuna, the Ripper, additional benefit, it now goes through. What do we have here? Lubellion searching our deck. Are we well situated to droll ourselves against a Maxi? Let's find out. As the Primera gets Ash Blossom, is this a good Ash? I would say it's good because the other opportunity to use Ash will get Chain Link blocked, very likely by a Gargoyle on the Synchro trying to search. We now have the Caesar Valius. By holding on to Maxi, we maintain the Earth attribute to reveal and destroy instead. Druid Swarm, banish our Primera. Now we're going to Maxi. I guess we were afraid of Gamma. Lubellion is here, triggering the Druid Swarm to send the Caesar. Lupus out of freaking nowhere can now exceed with the Holly Sue. Completely unearned. Drew into a one of. What the heck was that? I mean, he could have drawn a Azuna, summoned, then dump Lupus and reborn, but still, we drew a one of and it won the duel. Uh-oh. Oh, how about we have no play? Uh-oh, indeed. What the heck is that? Triple Tactics Talent, dead. Ash and double Impermanence. Will Baldrake be good enough? I don't think so. The Lupus happens to be an Earth. Now, there's a possibility that Lantern may try to target a Dark Monster or Reborn. Imperm, negates. So what really sucks is we felt forced to use Ash, because had we used Imperm, we feared that they would Borger or Caesar. Is that a reasonable expectation? If we want to look at the Vanquished Soul deck type, how many Borgers, how many Caesars are they on? If we see here, they generally play 2 Borgers and 1 Caesar. So that's about 3 cards to just dodge your Impermanence. Thus, we wanted to use Ash. But then we get Azuna'd. What the Rocks? Rocks is here. Rocks into Zeus. Oh my Jesus. Let's freaking go. We have Bell. We have Azuna Lupus. We have Board Wipe with the Zeus, negate a monster in hand or engrave, Quadra Disrupt. We finally have a play. Emblema Oath into Primera. Zeus is wiping out the Ripper. We don't care, so we lose Ripper. We're using up the Zeus. Wipe the field. Bell and Azuna. Azuna's not activatable. Draw 2 is Desperation. Got to do it. Now the Azuna's turned on. Now this is interesting. Azuna's turned on, but then she turns off once the Bell resolves, because the Bell's going to negate the activation of a hand trap. You're in the state where I activated something in the hand, but then no, I didn't. So do we summon that Azuna within this window, but then the Lupus wouldn't even be rebornable? It's kind of weird. Now I never did that, because you undid it. Now I did do it, because I did it again. Now we have Typhon. Do we Azuna Lupus the Typhon? Yes, we do. But now I potentially not draw 1, not 2, but 3? You want to give me 3 cards for this Azuna commitment? I don't think so. Or I just top deck into an Ash Negate. What the heck, mate? What the YOLO are we doing? I used to make fun of Naruto because I saw people playing and they were flipping up coins and rolling die for the Rock Lees. I'm like, what a trash game that looks to be. But maybe this is a more convoluted way of flipping that same coin. Reinforce our hand. Come to me. Raisin. Raisin in the same column as the Typhon, grabbing our Borger. We do not have a fire to reveal, thus we go into the Rock. Rock, add back the Raisin, reveal with Holly Sue, reveal a Darkened Fire to summon from the deck. And from the deck, we will go into the Mad Love, giving us a Vanquish Soul start. Start onto the Mad Love, searching for the Caesar Valius. Mad Love returning, reducing that is, return back to summon Borger, reveal a dark, draw a card, to battle we go. Not enough for lethal damage. We will be setting up with the Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. Non-target wipe away the field, pop a card in the field, take control of a monster. About triple disruption. Wipe it. What could Plu draw into? Against non-target board wipe, non-target pop, and non-target take control. All non-targeting disruptions. If we were to assign stat values, power points to disruptions, being non-targeting's got to be boosting it up quite a bit. So I'd say they're quite high-quality disruptions. Case for Canine, grab Naroi. Let me get the in-game volume. Naroi on summon. Veiler, negate. All right, let's get going into our Chaos Nash Knight. Nash Knight into the Umbral Horror. What is Cool Tune going to do here? Not much. Oh, thank you. Fool lost late to the party. Normal Rico doesn't activate. Typhon. Let's speed this up, obviously. There's nothing here. Let's go. Gamma may clap this. No, because I didn't shift her in the draw phase. So it's another thing you want to consider. If you're used to Fool Loss maxing in the draw phase, well, there's enough people playing Gamma in Cool Tune for you to stop doing that. Don't do that ever again. Wait. And now, do we win this duel instantly or what? All our cards are banished. How do we win? The cards do not trigger when used for Synchro. They trigger when sent to the grave being used for a Synchro. That's a big difference. So now, can't deal, and it's both turns. It's going to get messed up. No trigger on either turn. Now, you would think the clip in Rico, even though we're not triggering cards in grave, we could still make an RS, right? Yes and no. You make an RS, but how do you negate anything? You have to banish a tuner from the grave to negate. There's nothing in the grave, and there will be nothing in the grave. Super clapped. Oh my Jesus. I want you to ask yourself this question. How much does Shifter hurt your own deck? And if the answer is less than Cool Tune, then you should just play it. Just play it. It hurts my deck, but it hurts Cool Tune more, then why are you not playing Shifter? I think everyone should be on that, if that's the case. Because look how pathetic this deck is. What a garbage deck because of Shifter. Shifter resolves, they're done. It's over. And similar to Dracotail, because they combo up with a bunch of the tuners in hand, you could say that they're getting greedy and not playing Call by the Grave. Dracotail can't fuse with Call of the Grave. Cool Tune can't synchro with Call of the Grave. So some people, not everyone, are dropping that, which would further make them weaker to a card like Dimension Shifter. And mind you, Vanquish Soul Canine has many plays that do interact with the grave, but they could still play around the Shifter enough where they completely cripple Cool Tune and then win the duel. Does something stop the Raigeki, or do they need to send a grave? Oh, Darklaw. Does Darklaw stop the Raigeki? Let's read that. That's a good thing to note. So how do they Raigeki? Send to the graveyard by cost to Raigeki, and they can't because of Darklaw. So not only, thank you to the chatter, does the Wingman indestructible and can get big enough, Darklaw could just stop them from even activating this. Let's freaking go. And Darklaw. Everything is going to go to the grave being banished. Non-target pop, negate, and we have the favorite contact, non-target pop, and indestructible by card effects mate. 5 disruption on heroes. You are in big trouble. Heavy polymerization. No. Negate. That's it. Heavy poly is supposed to be, very simply, I win when going second. Because of that, you know, you could randomly go first and it's not going to help you. But beyond that, it should straight up be instant winning, if not negated. Let's go. Going first. Book of Eclipse could help dodge an Imperm or Veiler, and then you could still fuse with your face down monster. There you go. Liger number 2. Masquerade, add back the polymerization, set and pass. Spell and trap card negate. We could link off into Little Knight double disruption. We could Raigeki the field twice. We could flip it face down with Eclipse. We could impulse. About 7 disrupt, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Droplet did not send a monster, thus negate. 6 more mates. Now, if we could just summon a Wingman, we're good, right? Get the Wingman out. How do we just skip the favorite contact and go right into Wingman? Is it that difficult to do? We need an Elemental Hero Neos plus a Wingman fusion. So successfully fusing into the Wingman and then accessing the Elemental Hero Neos. We were not able to do that. So 2 fusions and a Neo Search, about 3 pieces to that recipe. 1 and 1. Furnace. Grab our Poly. We have Impulse and Ash. Let's see what we have here. Called forth, Dusk Crow. It looks like going first against Lunalight, all you have to do is make Darklaw and win. Finger the Ash, as we're left with Impulse. Before you could save Impulse for the favorite contact. Can't do that anymore. Because now they have protection on their favorite contact, which would then wipe up your field and completely win the whole duel, due to the Chaos Mass Change monster, which they don't just summon 1, they could summon up to 2. Double negate. And they won't just have that for your own turn. They're going to have it within their own turn, so that applies even more pressure where you have to Impulse before they summon it. So you have to identify with this polymerization, could they summon a negate on the Impulse? They could. Fountain, Duskcrow, immediately could now whip out a card to negate the card you're holding on to. So then you have to now think, should I have negated something else? Oh no, what did I do? But now thankfully, they didn't do that. A good Impulse could be on the effect of the Flame Wingman summoning from the extra deck the Sunrise to grab a Miracle Fusion possibly. Or you could wait for the Miracle Fusion, or maybe you don't even want them to have access to the Miracle Fusion because they could reset it with the Link 2 if they don't have it. What are we gonna Impulse? What are we impulsing? We're just not gonna Impulse. Because we used Hero Neos, we could use the Voltic to reborn back Stratos. Stratos come forth. Like next duel, we're gonna use this. We're very soon gonna get to the point where you cannot use this. You now can't use it. That's it. It's done. It's negated. It's over. Oh, I'm impulsing the mash change. You can't. I'll negate. That's just how it be. Before you could do that. That was an option. Impulse the mash change. Impulse the favorite contact. Nope. Got him. Now, luckily for you, he only has one negate. Previously, he had two. Mash change, impulse, negate the impulse. We have non-target pop in addition to that. We also have more non-target pop, and all your cards sent to the grave are banished instead. Meaning, you can't fractal, you can't masquerade. Both cards get countered by one Dark Law. What did we just do? Oh, we favorite contacted into another negate. Okay. Dark Law. And now, Fractal Masquerade screwed up. We have another negate instead of the non-target pop. Got him. So this is a better idea than the Wingman because this will negate a heavy polymerization. Masquerade, banish. Banish the chick. Now you can't activate cards in the battle phase. Okay. Banish the Martin. Woo. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so back to the question of should I play Hero or Centruion? I mean, just seeing it fresh, I would think Heroes. Okay, I'm not hating on Centruion. No plays Centruion to good success, but damn, just on paper, that looks way better, right? Thank you, YouTube, for watching the top 16. We'll now be advancing into the top 8, top 4, and grand finale, where we're going to be popping off with Heroes. Is Heroes the counter you need to beat Kewl as we set up the Dark Law to floodgate them out? Let's go.